What is up, everybody? This is Devin Roberts back again with Young Controversy, here today with a daily breakdown for you, addressing important issues that come up in the news and political landscape of America today. Today, what I want to address with you guys is something that actually I wasn't even intending to do this topic until I saw something so prominent on it that I couldn't help myself. Today we are doing propaganda. I want to talk about propaganda in the media and propaganda that's being sent out through elections and things of that nature, and specifically this little piece of paper that I got in the mail earlier this week. It's a revolution. Specifically ever since the 2016 election, one of the biggest changes that we've seen and one of the most important pieces of evolution that we've undertaken throughout this whole process is the fact that mudslinging and just unbelievable characteristic attacks on the other side have become not only common but praised and loved by supporters in both sides of the party. And I see that more, as most people that are watching this know, I'm a relatively conservative leaning newscaster or podcaster or whatever I guess you want to call me. But in this specific case, I saw it so heavily on the other side and on my side showing awful cases of propaganda that I at least had to point it out in this case. So we're going to go right to it, and I'm going to read you some excerpts for this. Some people are going to be mad at me for this, by the way, but this is a couple letters that we got from the NRA, specifically asking about, after the 2018 midterm election, asking how we voted, different issues that we may have, and let me just read this to you. Dear Mr. Roberts, when someone hits you and attacks your freedoms, you fight back. And right now, hundreds of gun-hating politicians, judges, and media elites are doing everything in their power to sabotage and destroy your freedoms. They're attacking your freedoms in the courts, they're attacking in cities and small towns all across America. They're attacking in the states, the media, even in Congress. They've spent decades passing anti-gun regulations, packing our courts with gun-hating judges, and they're promising to fight on and never surrender until the day they tear the heart out of our Second Amendment rights. Now, if that is not outright and utter, just almost evil and exaggeratory propaganda on a different level, I don't know what is. I support gun rights and I support your right to own a gun, but I don't support any organization, specifically one as respected and powerful as the NRA, sending things like that to me. And it's not even just that, it gets worse. You see here, it's plus you'll receive valuable NRA 5-star benefits that give you back far more than you pay in dues. And if you renew your commitment today, you'll receive a special bonus gift: NRA's razor-sharp rosewood handle pocket knife, as our way of welcoming you back to the NRA family. So please answer this critical survey and return it to me in the postage-paid envelope right away. Now is the time to fight back. Now is the time to draw a line in the sand and put the gun-hating politician elites on notice that you will never surrender 1 inch of your freedom. And please, when you return your survey, renew your commitment to NRA today. NRA is one firewall standing between your Second Amendment freedoms and those who would take it away. But our strength to fight and win comes from you. And with our biggest battles just ahead, we need you in our ranks more than ever. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your fast reply and to our steadfast loyal to the cause of liberty. Yours in freedom, Wayne LaPierre, Executive Vice President of the NRA. So, that's what I got in the mail, and that's basically what it said. They're giving you a free pocket knife if you send in a survey telling them the issues you agree with and how you voted and things of that nature, etc. It's unbelievable. They said they're drawing a line in the sand. Gun-hating judges and politicians, send back and we will give you a pocket knife as a welcome back to our club. It's just so weird and awkward to even read it. It wasn't only me, it was other people I was talking to about this and other members of my family who are also just confused by this. Not only that, but the Republican Party sent us letters in the mail asking how we voted, why we voted for the politicians we did, if we supported Trump or if we supported the Republican Party. And I get why they want that census style information, but it feels very propaganda-y and it feels very anti-neutral. And if you've been watching anything I've been doing for a while at this point, you know my whole goal and everything is to bring us back toward neutral. Pull everyone from one side, pull everyone from the other side, and bring us back to a reasonable middle where we can actually make some progress and agree on something. So seeing things like this just, it turns me off, guys. I don't like seeing that level of propaganda. And this is something that you normally wind up seeing on the left more often, at least in my opinion. I think the loud propagandist screams and battle cries and drawing a line in the sand kind of attitude happens to come from left politics a lot more. Maybe because it's a younger base, maybe because it's more progressive, so you kind of have to push on those issues to a different degree. But seeing this from such a prominent such a prominent organization as the NRA, seeing these issues presented in this way, almost what feels to me is childishly acting like your rivals, the people who disagree with you, are enemies of the American people, is something that I've never agreed with in American politics, and I am not agreeing with in this case. Gun rights are an extremely big deal. This isn't something that you can simplify into the Second Amendment. I agree with the Second Amendment. I agree with it being in the Constitution. But I agree with us having the talk that it might need to be changed or it might be outdated. I personally don't think it is, but I'm willing to have that conversation with you because children are being shot in schools and people are being shot at large events across the country every single month, without a doubt. Whether you can argue the statistics all you want, there's a mass shooting once a month at least, and that's way too many. So I may think I should still be allowed to keep my gun rights and that you should still be allowed to, but I'm also willing to have the discussion about what we should do moving forward, what moves may be best as to fix the problem, whether that's arming teachers in schools and large events, whether that's better and more open carry laws, whether that's restricted ammunition clip sizes. That I don't know exactly, but the conversation is what's important, and demonizing someone who disagrees with you on an issue that involves life and death so utterly is something childish, ridiculous, and I think just shines a completely bad light on what the NRA is doing. And I want y'all to continue to pay attention to this, because not only that, propaganda like this gets in people's heads. I see this for what it is, and I see it that it's propaganda and a huge issue and something that should be frowned upon, but this gets people riled up. It makes people believe that the politicians on the left or that are anti-gun are truly just drawing a line in the sand, haters of gun owners trying to take your guns away. And most things I've seen don't agree with that. Most things I've seen have shown that people want to regulate guns, want to regulate clip sizes, want to add background checks, want to add extensive gun training, even maybe government-funded gun training, but it's very rare that you find someone who wants to take all your guns away. That's an extremist viewpoint that I completely disagree with, but you don't see very often. And the NRA is demonizing people who are even on this side of the argument. All is that very small percentage of them. And this very divisive politics pushes people to the corners of issues, and I'm truly tired of seeing it. And this is just not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. If you're watching this, I just want you to remember, propaganda is not okay in any way, shape, or form on either side of the aisle. It pushes people to the corners and makes them argue. It's one of the most divisive things that has come up in politics in the last thousands of years, whether the NRA uses it, whether it's used in Rome, whether it's used in early America, or whether it's used by the left to push trans right agendas. It doesn't matter. Propaganda has been used a myriad throughout both sides, mostly to divide the American people, and mostly to divide us politically by race, by sex, by background and economic status. And it's so easy to pick out at this point because we have unbiased news sources. We have places that are more middle line that you can watch. You just have to search for them. Go online. There are people who truly have an attitude of bring togetherness and honest news, and I want to report what's true, as long as you don't wind up falling to the CNN or the Fox News side completely. Guys, stay middle line with me. Don't pay attention to the propaganda. When you get crap like this from the NRA, throw it in the trash can. That's all I have on this today, guys. I'm Devin Roberts with Young Controversy. Thank you for staying with me and talking about this ridiculous propaganda. And I do want to say, I know I have a more conservative audience than liberal audience, but I love my guns, my gun rights. I love my ability to buy one, and I love the freedom that we have in this country. That doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with this kind of thing at any point in time. You can't demonize your opponents. This is a debate, not a war. We're all Americans on the same team. And if you support this, if you support the NRA sitting out this kind of thing, you're probably not someone who's going to enjoy a lot more of my content. Guys, I'm glad you stuck here with me today. This is Devin Roberts with Young Controversy. If you haven't checked us out on Anchor yet and you are just watching this on YouTube, I am so sorry because my Anchor podcasts are fabulous and you will love them. So go to anchor.fm/podcasting to check me out. That's anchor.fm/podcasting as soon as you get a chance. But for now, I'm signing off, guys. This is Devin Roberts. Peace.